The topic I want to talk about and question I want to pose is that when Jesus says, "Not my will be done, but your will be done," what does that really mean? And so we need to prioritize what God wants in our lives. We all have that voice in our head. I've spoke about it a few times. Our conscience talking and telling us what the right thing to do is. And at least based on my experiences, every time I've gone against what that voice has said, well, ultimately the path that I believe that God is leading me down, when I've gone against that, things haven't worked in my favor. Things have gone the opposite of the way that I wanted to go. But I was thinking about me and my wants rather than the will of God and what his path is for me. And so the point is not to be lukewarm in your journey with Christ, in becoming a Christian, because there's going to be those opportunities and those times where basically every day we have those temptations and we think about, this is what I want to do rather than what the will of God is for us. And so the point that I want to make is from a story from the Sea of the Galilee. There were two boats. Basically, you can think about it on each side, right? So a boat here, a boat there with a net in the middle. And in between that net, obviously, they were catching anything and everything that was in between that net. And so when they got to the shore, they went through everything that they caught and they threw out the good, they threw out the bad and kept the good. And so just like Christianity, as much as people don't want to hear the bad, we do need to have the fear of God. We do need to fear God's judgment on us, because people not only don't want to think about the bad, but they want to go through their lives without any concern about what they're doing, without thinking about the consequences that their actions are going to have. The Bible talks about it, and we need to have intention in the things that we're doing. So everything is really a lesson and a story. And what I mean by that is that when we make the wrong mistake, right, or we do something wrong, we need to use it as a lesson, learn from it, and make a story out of it. Because we're going to make mistakes throughout our lives. We need to grow from those mistakes. And as a Christian, read the Bible, follow God's path, follow God's will, and allow those stories to mold and develop you into a true Christian. Stop being lukewarm and thinking about your will, because your will be done, but ultimately follow what God's will is for you. And so what I want to leave with is this. The question is, if you have 100% confidence that you're going to be in heaven, that you're going to end up in heaven or not. And it was mentioned in church, and I think there's that negative stigma. You see the guys on the side of the road talking and screaming, you're a sinner, you're going to go to hell if you don't accept God. But really think about it, because it's not something that's often talked about, but it is something that needs to be spoken about more. And that's a platform that my brother and I want to start. We want to create good Christian, value-based, principle-driven individuals that are focused in on being the best Christians, the best versions of themselves for the people around them, for their families, and ultimately for God. And so just wanted to share that message today. Hope you guys found value in it. If you did, if you have thoughts, questions, feedback, please drop it in the comments below.